thing I was the most impressed, because I come from Israel and we're so unfortunately used to tragedies like what we had here in December 14th. I'm very impressed from the resilience of the community. And I think the thing I was most shocked to see that since October 7th, this community, who are so connected to Israel, are building themselves even stronger. And I see other communities around the world that are a lot of people thinking of leaving, it's scaring them, and I think this community is strong. As a Jew, as an Israeli and American, I sit in the right order. I'm very proud. I actually love meeting the people here, especially the people who are volunteering in the community. I started United Hatzalah 36 years ago. I started with a group of 15 volunteers, see it to grow to 10,000. And we have a lot of Australians who are volunteering with us in Israel. So seeing it grow here in Sydney, seeing the people taking responsibility over their security, over life-saving, over the community and the building of new centers here, makes me really interested in creating more collaboration between Israel and here, and of course between Israel and Melbourne. There was a big resemblance between Israelis and Australians. The Australian population have the chutzpah the Israelis have. I see that. I saw that in Hatzalah here, and CSH and CSG and the different organizations. They really want to create things, they do it, no matter what. They fight for it. And it's really something that I saw in Israel. United Hatzalah started with chutzpah. We didn't get any permission, we did it. We said if we ever get caught, we'll ask for forgiveness, right? I see that here. People are creating organizations, especially after December 14th. And they say, we need to protect ourselves. We need to make sure we are safe. And I think that's a great a mirror to what we do in Israel. And I think Jews all around the world now have to connect. We're all in one family, really. We have, the Jews is really, no matter where they are, they're brothers and sisters. And we have to work between each other to have more sympathy to each other, more respect for each other. That's why I call the organization United Hatzalah. Religious and secular, Reform, conservative, Orthodox, ultra-Orthodox. No matter who we are, we should all know how to respect each other and understand each other. And I think that's one of the reasons I travel. And I bring our message to other communities. Originally, Hatzalah started here by Mendy. He came to Israel and he was training with us. And one of the things he learned there, how to deal with mass casualty incidents, MCIs we call it. When you come to an event and you have very few people who could help, and many people you need to help, you need to do triage. You need to understand the situation really quick, how to control the chaos, and how to make sure you don't get killed yourself. And he was in that situation just a few months ago. And he remembers how he learned in Israel by us, the techniques about how to be careful. And the police were calling him to say, go help the terrorist. And he learned by us, you don't get close to the terrorist until you know 100% he's not a danger to yourself. We have that all the time in Israel. The terrorist could have a bomb on him. Same thing with CSS, which when they started, they came to us. We always offer our assistance to other organizations who want to learn from us. We are one of the most innovating organizations in the world when it comes to fast response, a community-based emergency response. And we said to the organization that started, and my friend Stephen Lowy and David, his brother, who lives mostly out of the country, and they said, how could you help the guys here? I said, our doors are open. So I spent time with them. And I said, okay, we opened the doors, that was a couple of years ago, to both organizations. Now we want to do more. We want to give more technology ways. We have the best technology in the world. We even use AI to predict where the next emergencies are about to happen, which is fascinating. We use data of 10 years and calculations of, different aspects like weather and events and holidays, and it gives us predictions of where should our volunteers be in the next hour. and we mobilize them accordingly. And it's actually incredible to see the results. We get there faster. So we want to offer our technology here. We want to offer our training. And most importantly, after December 14th, we send a group of psychologists and psychotrauma professionals who came, left their jobs in Israel. They're all volunteers. They didn't get paid. They left their job and they were here for, I think, almost 10 days. Stayed here in the community and had interventions with over 700 people. And I met people who got help. I had so much nachas. It was unbelievable joy for me as someone who started this when I was 16 years old. But we also offer our help to every Jewish community around the world, and not even Jewish, also sometimes not Jewish. Turkey, when they had an earthquake, we send people there. Morocco, we send people there. And I'm very proud that Israel is a Tikkun Olam country. And United Hatzalah is very aligned with that Tikkun Olam message. And I think our teams that were here after December 14th, unfortunately, they were trained by Israel, not only with the methods, but also with, unfortunately, with experience. After October 7th, they were there for the people of Israel. I look back and I say, you know what? I'm not surprised about our response, because we always have volunteers who are ready to respond. We were ready. And the reason United Hatzalah was ready is because we always make sure our volunteers are ready for anything. So when 6/29, when the war broke out and the terrorists, thousands of terrorists were coming from all around the Gaza districts, 75 different points. The first ones were going into cities like Sderot. Our volunteers who heard the police station were attacked immediately responded to help the police, thinking it's one or two terrorists coming. And my volunteer, the first one, was shot by a group of terrorists, but he didn't know how many of them. He saw one. He pulled out his gun that he carries on him to protect himself, and he shot the terrorist back. And then he goes on the walkie-talkie, he says, I'm shot, I need help. His name was Chaim. He says, I need help, I'm here next to the police station. The area is clear, I killed the terrorist. Guess what? He didn't realize that 500 more around the city. And our other volunteers were showing up. They realized the situation. And then we had other situations like that. In Kfar Aza, in Be'eri, in Nir Oz. Nir Oz, we had a volunteer leave his house very early in the morning going to save his next door neighbors, the Bibat family. This is a volunteer by the name of Dolev Yehud. He was ready to go save lives. And he had all his medical supplies, everything, he had a bulletproof vest, a helmet, and a gun, everything. And all of a sudden he finds himself in front of terrorists who caught him, murdered him, and burned him. And we didn't even know he was killed because we thought he was kidnapped because his walkie-talkie ended up in Gaza. And it took 9 months to recognize his body. This is to just realize the capacity of this tragedy that happened to Israel on October 7th. That day, we had 1,700 volunteers who went into Gaza area, went out to save people's lives, putting their own life in danger. We had 3 volunteers who were killed and 25 members who were injured. And we were able to save many, many people, hundreds of people. One of them, one incident out of thousands of incidents was a boy, 9 years old, who called United Hatzalah about 8 o'clock in the morning. And his name is Michael. And he said, I'm hiding in a closet with my sister. She's 6 years old, in a shoe closet. And my mother and father were murdered. And he said, I'm trying to call for help. Could you help us? Our dispatcher, who answered the phone, was shocked. And he says, my parents are on the floor. My mother's right next to me in the room. I'm hiding in a closet. I could see her through the... And my father's the entrance to the house. And my sister is missing. She's 3 years old. Her name is Abigail. Now, how do you help someone like that when you know already that whole village, kibbutz, was all full of terrorists? And we told the child, we're going to help you. And right away, the dispatcher connected this kid who was 9 years old, who behaved like he was 30. He was so mature. And he was on the phone with us for 12 hours straight with our psychologist, psychotrauma professional, Tamar Schlesinger, who took care of him and helped save his life, because during the day she really helped him cope with his tragedy now. Made him the most responsible child in the world. She helped him and she spoke to him and she let him rest. And at one point, the terrorists were coming, new terrorists were coming all the time. She was so smart. She told him, don't cover your mother, so they don't know that someone was there in the room. She also said to him, if they say to you, if anyone says to you, come out, you're safe now, the IDF is here, they're not the IDF. Because I'm in touch with the IDF. And they know you're hiding. And they know your name and they know your sister's name. And only when you hear your name, only then you can know it's real IDF. And that's what happened. 4 o'clock in the afternoon, Hamas came in, said, we're IDF, come out, we're here to help you. In Hebrew, he knew they're not real. And he was very quiet. And eventually at 8 p.m., the Golani Brigade came into the room, rescued him, and they had terrorists all over. Ended up, our ambulances were waiting for him outside, took him to the hospital. I see that the people here are doing the right direction. They're building organizations. I think people should support the organizations here that are building, and people should create the proudness they need. Don't be scared. You had a tragedy. This should make you even stronger and build your communities even, more resilience. Also, don't forget Israel. That should be part of your bucket list, because Israel needs to be strong and the Jewish community here needs to be strong. This is the lineage between Israel and here are very important. And I think this is my message to the community. Be proud of who you are. Don't be scared to walk around with a yarmulke. I was walking all day today with the Israeli flag on me here in the center of the city, downtown, where, everywhere I go, people are looking at me and everyone was nice to me. I'm not scared to be Jewish, and no one should be scared to be Jewish. No one should be scared to be who they are. We should not be hiding. And I said the same thing in Israel. We are a strong nation. That's why they're targeting us. Otherwise, they wouldn't target us. This community is probably one of the strongest communities in the world. Just continue growing and doing well.